And just real quick guys, Solo Leveling Arise Championship 2025 is finally happening on April 12th at the Gwangmyeong IVEX studio in Korea. Top players have been waiting for this, especially the global players who did not have the chance to join the previous competition. So good luck to the final 16 participants who worked so hard during the qualifying tournament, and to those who are planning to go there will be lots of exciting events and rewards in the venue, plus some special guest influencers, so don't miss out. Alright guys, what's going on? Mouse here. So, Fan of the Fire Demon. Potentially bugged. Again, we're seeing bugs on top of bugs. They just recently fixed the Stormbringer bug, by the way, and I tested it and it's working now. But while I was testing it, I found another potential bug that I probably will create another video on that. It's much more complicated to explain, but this time, let's focus on the Fan of the Fire Demon first. I was testing something else earlier related to the elemental damage and how they stack and all of those, because I was trying to optimize something. But accidentally, I did find another potential bug. Again, this is still unconfirmed, but I'm gonna show it to you and you might have been affected by this. A lot of people are using this weapon, especially in Deimos, so this is really important. So this weapon has a debuff called High Fever at A1. So basically when you cast the fan, you're gonna be able to inflict this debuff that increases Jinwoo's fire damage by 50%, and the duration is 8 seconds. So just to show you quickly what's happening here, we're gonna use Dagger Toss as our damage skill that we're gonna test, and let's also use probably Sonic Explosion. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna cast the fan, we're gonna inflict that debuff, and then we're gonna test and see if the Dagger Toss damage will increase. So first, let's test with the Dagger Toss. So let's just take a look at the non-crit damage. So that's gonna be 84k, 85k. Let's just do another test just to be sure. All right. So there you go, 84k, 85k. So that's the default damage of the skill. And now let's just check the debuff. Okay, we got the debuff at around 256 mark. Let's check the duration first. What time is it going to disappear? 256, so that should be around 248. Gone. 248. Exactly 8 seconds. All right. Now let's check whether or not the debuff will actually increase the damage of the Dagger Toss. So I'm gonna cast the fan. Debuff is there. I'm gonna try to use the Dagger Toss. There, 132,000. So it did increase. Okay, now let me show you something. I'm gonna cast the fan again. 256. We got the debuff, 255. I'm gonna use Dagger Toss immediately. 88k. So we got a bit of fire damage increase from the stacks here, the 2 stacks here. We're gonna get 3% fire damage increase. Okay, again. There you go. Debuff, 255. I'm gonna wait until 253. Then I'm gonna use the Dagger Toss. 1, 2, Dagger Toss. 87k. So pay attention to the time. We waited a few seconds and the damage still did not increase. Alright, let's try that again. Oh my goodness. Right? Let's try to hit it at 252. Damage increase. Okay, we got it at 255, 252, damage increase. Fan, let's wait for the animation to end. Boom. Dagger Toss, 88k. So take note that the timer already started as soon as we inflicted that debuff. Alright? But for the first few seconds, it seems that it's actually not working. Okay, so let's try it again on the Sonic Stream skill. Let's check the damage. There are some crits, but this is 1.1 million. That's 50%, so the damage increase should be noticeable at least. So now let's try to compare whether or not the Sonic Stream damage will increase if we use that immediately after the fan. There you go. 1.1. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there seems to be like a 2 seconds delay that the debuff is not working. So let's try that again and compare the Sonic Stream damage if we wait like 3 seconds before we hit it. 1, 2, 3. There you go, 1.7. Just one last time. Let's check the debuff duration. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm not sure if that is supposed to happen. I certainly don't see anything here that talks about a delay or something before it will work. So certainly, based on our testing, the duration is 8 seconds and the timer starts as soon as this debuff appears. But for the first 2 seconds after inflicting this debuff, the effect actually does not work. So again, I'm not sure if that is how it's supposed to work, but just to let you guys know that it does happen, and pay attention to that when using your rotations. Because for example, when we're playing Deimos or even POD to some extent, we use the fan and we use a skill afterwards. So sometimes we follow this rotation and then we do this and then follow up with 2 cores, right? So there's no problem with the 2 final cores in the bow, but certainly there will be a problem with using the Sonic Stream afterwards, or maybe even in some cases, well, in any case, like the first 2 seconds, if you use a skill after that debuff, then you're not getting the 50% fire damage increase from the high fever. So yeah, that's gonna be it. And just lastly, to let you guys know that even if you do the cancellation trick wherein you don't charge the core attack and then you immediately dash after casting the fan and debuffing the target with high fever, it still won't work for a few seconds. So I'm not sure if the devs have already picked this up, but I do think that it is not how it should work, because we are losing quite a bit of damage from that. For example, the damage of the fan itself, because if you cast the fan, you're gonna deal some damage, right? This one, and if this 2155 does not benefit from that debuff, as well as the follow-up skill that you use afterwards, that's definitely at least I would say a significant DPS loss. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I'll just make another video on the next bug for Stormbringer. And yeah, thanks again. See you on the next one.